Hey, I'm ProdigiousTrip. I review anything and everything. And today I kind of want to talk about the new season that's come up with The Walking Dead called Daryl Dixon. Now, I'm not going to do like my normal spoiler corner, but just heads up, there are spoilers for this episode because I'm going to talk about episode 1. Now, I know that they're trying to do something new. So they're introducing a new place, some new characters. This show still seems like it's going to follow the same path as the way that Maggie and Negan kind of went. And I get it, you're trying to tell another story. I do like Daryl Dixon as a character, so I really do want to see him and know more about what's happening to him. It starts off with, like, you really don't know what happens after the Walking Dead show ends. Apparently, a lot of people stayed at the Commonwealth. Some went back to New Alexandria. Some people went to Hilltop. And for Daryl, I don't really know what he was doing. I think he said he was going to try and find Rick. But somehow he said he made some bad decisions and ended up in the ocean, or I guess stranded on a boat or something. So something's happened. And he's now in France. So yeah, that's how it basically goes. And one of the things that I was just, I get the slow pacing that's supposed to happen usually when you start off a show. You try to want to introduce the new areas, the new characters, But for the most part, it wasn't a bad first episode. Like I said, I could still feel like it's kind of going like the Maggie Negan thing, where it's just going to be, every episode is going to be a slow episode. They did introduce a new zombie variant. That was the one thing I was like, oh, please, give me some new zombies. Give me some new things with the zombies. That's kind of like how it goes. I'm so tired of seeing people as the bad guys in a zombie apocalypse. I'm like, come on. I don't need another, I did like Negan, don't get me wrong. He was a great guy, a great villain. I know that the governor was a pretty good villain, but just all these other random, they had the cannibals, they had even the Commonwealth. I really didn't find that too much of as bad as a villain that I was hoping it would be, with certain characters. So I'm just like, let's, get back to the norm. Let's see if we can get some new zombies going. Like when they had the Whisperers, I was really disappointed at how that turned out, because I really thought that zombies were talking, and I'm like, oh, you could hear them like, we must find them. They went this way. I'm like, oh yay, finally talking zombies. And no, nothing happened. And I was like, then towards the end of the show, they actually showed some zombies that were able to carry a rock. One of them was able to climb. So I'm like, come on, let's get some more going. So finally, for this one, I said spoilers. You get what they called them, burners. So, and it doesn't really explain what it is either. It's just a zombie that if it touches you, it burns you. Like literally, like they grabbed Daryl's hand and it left like a really weird burn mark too. So, not exactly sure what that is. If there was like maybe in France they tried to nuke them or something, and somehow you get like radioactive zombies, which would be awesome if they do that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either, because he stabs him in the head, and sure enough, like it looks like acid pops out, because and it starts to like sizzle or make some kind of weird, it looks like it's, maybe it's acid, I don't know. So if you get an acid-filled zombie or something, try not to beat it like a piñata or anything, but that would be a cool zombie variant to have. The only really cool thing that I thought about him for in Maggie and Negan spinoff was that in the sewer she met like that really weird zombie that looked like 4 or 5 of them like merged together, kind of. They were like, I don't know if they somehow got fused together, or if it was just because they melted with the heat or something, and it would just look like one. It looked like a boss out of a monster movie or a monster video game or something that you have to fight at the end of the game. But it looked really cool, and I'm like, yes, give us some more zombie variants. And so finally in this one they did. And apparently, like later on, you learn that to keep the infection down, one of the nuns had to use, like, she said she had to cauterize it. So you see him taking a fire pick and burning him, or burning the burn mark on his arm to keep it from spreading. So I don't know if she meant like keeping infection like medical infection, like, hey, this is going to get like, gangrene or something if you don't burn this off or whatever. Or if she meant like zombie infection, like if you don't burn this off, it's going to slowly take over your arm. And that would be a cool look for Daryl, though, like have a zombie arm, trying to pull bow and arrow, bing, I would like that show, half zombie, half Daryl. You don't mess with him, But I don't know if that's what they meant, because she just says to stop the infection. So again, I'm pretty sure it just meant like medical, because she really doesn't seem too hard to just like, because I guess if you cauterize a wound, that keeps it from getting infected. So it may not be zombie infection. So don't quote me on that unless we can learn later on what happens. Again, this is all just, spectating. I'm just guessing at what's going on, because again, first episode, and he touches a zombie and it's like, so yeah, not too much going on. Again, you get bad guys, humans that are bad guys in the show. I guess they don't say who they are. They were just like, I guess, a group of people hunting or I guess surviving. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on. Daryl gets tricked by two people, and then they get tricked by like a group of bad guys with guns. Daryl was like, he doesn't speak the language, so he has a little traveling thing for French, so he could see what it says. But for the most part, he doesn't understand the language and stuff. And so he meets up with these nuns that try to take care of him. They have like this arsenal of old weapons from like, I guess the castle or the place that they're staying at is like a ancient temple or something. And so they keep all their weapons there, and it's like maces and some crossbows and stuff, but like knives and swords and spears. So they're they train themselves in it. So they got the super nuns going on. Revenge of the Nuns, or Nuns Reloaded, whatever. So that was kind of interesting. I did like that. At least like hey, random nuns that could kill people. And sure enough, when the bad guys show up, the nuns actually just like they start killing, and they're like they can protect themselves. So I like that. I guess, Daryl doesn't want to have anything to do with these nuns. They keep telling him that there's this boy that they found, that he drew a picture of, I guess, Jesus. And, there's a second coming, or he's supposed to be like the Messiah. So they think Daryl is Jesus, and that he's supposed to save them. Or no, Daryl is supposed to come and help them because this boy is supposed to be the next Messiah. Again, so many weird religious things in this, and it, like, not to make fun of anyone's religion, but whatever they're talking about in there is definitely not like, the Bible, or, I have no idea what they're talking about in there. And so they think this boy is supposed to be a Messiah or someone to protect them. I don't know. So they want Daryl to take him and, take him on a journey or something and, save the world. I guess, I don't know. So Daryl says no, he leaves. The bad guys show up. They start trying to beat up the nuns or whatever, and I guess they shot a zombie that they had, because I guess it was like the father or something, or maybe they called him father because he was like a priest or something. I don't know. There's nothing but nuns there, so I don't know if it was a convent or if it's like some kind of church or whatever. But they had one zombie, and they kept like reading him poetry. Like, okay, yeah, Dr. Seuss is going to bring this zombie back to life, but whatever. So, I mean, it's not exactly a bad episode. I mean, it gets good because, like I said, Daryl shows back up to protect all the nuns, and he goes, throwing knives, stabbing people, shooting people. I mean, like, he shot, I guess, he missed one guy, and I guess that's the main bad guy, so he leaves, or he gets in a Jeep and leaves, so he's going to be back, and I guess all the nuns are killed, so there's only like a few of them left, and this little boy, and of course, Daryl's like, all right, I'll take him. And you're going to take me to, or he says, you're going to take me to this, it's a place that she says like ships sometimes come and go. She doesn't know if it's true or not. So she's going to take him there to see if there's any ships that actually come, I guess, to a port or something or whatever. But it's supposed to be like in Paris. So there's a whole map that shows a whole like map of where they're supposed to go. So he's going to do that. So I guess that's I don't know, I guess the plot of this, this Daryl Dixon show is going to be him trying to help these nuns that can take care of themselves because they know how to fight. And this little boy who's supposed to be Messiah who likes to play with the Rubik's Cube. So yeah, remember how Jesus back in the New Testament was able to play with the Rubik's Cube and solve it and save the universe? So yeah, but again, first episode, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly. But I'm hoping that it gets better. I do want to see more of these zombies that they're calling burners. So I'm hoping that becomes like a big thing, or at least you find like a backstory of it or something. I mean, that would be perfect to learn about if like somehow they, maybe the zombies, or maybe the French try to, again, like I said, maybe they try to nuke them, or they try to pour acid on them or something, or try to, use some kind of virus to get rid of them, but it didn't, and just made them more dangerous. So now if you touch them, or if they, I don't know, bleed on you, but like when Daryl stabbed him in the head, that, all the blood and stuff came out, it made it like a sizzling sound once it hit the ground. So you're thinking that like, maybe it'll burn through stuff or whatever, or it's like I said, some kind of acid zombie. That would be really cool. So here's hoping. Again, that's all I have to say for it. I'll probably do like a spoiler corner for the rest of the Halo series. I just wanted to kind of get this out since the first episode of Daryl Dixon came out. I even forgot about it too. I was focused on so much other stuff, and but yeah. So hopefully we'll keep it going, and I'll probably do some more Daryl Dixon episodes. Maybe not spoiler corners, but I did kind of do a spoiler of it. So yeah, but maybe I'll try something else. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.